Welcome to our second sitting with Meetup in Bellabel Park, the new Nintendo Switch 2 edition expansion to Super Mario Bros. Wonder. We finished most of the single-player content that is available in yesterday's stream when we took our first look at it, hence assembling the whole band for the concert, which is the end credits for this expansion, and the patches that we have on a backpack for finishing the first 60 challenges and attaining the rank of Elite Explorer. Our job isn't done though, because in the Toad Brigade training camp, we have finally unlocked all of the difficulty 5 challenges, and there are 14 of them at the moment, and I kind of wonder with the padlock on the number 74 that you see in the top right, whether there is going to be something like a final challenge that unlocks after we've cleared the first 14. Maybe it finishes on a nice round number like 75, or maybe it doesn't. We'll see what happens. But with the 14 available courses, half of them are going to be rematches against the Koopalings in their hard mode form, and we'll be doing so without power-ups and only able to take one hit. So it'll be the same fights that we saw yesterday, except with a little bit more perfection required. Certainly there are certain phases of the fights that are going to be more difficult without the power-ups that you typically take into them with you, mostly either the flower or the elephant. But let's just go down the list and see how serious they are about difficulty level 5. So, the coin collection one is going to be in Color Switch Dungeon. It's been a long time since I played the original level, so we'll have to figure out the optimal path for all of the state switching on the fly. But we'll just reconstruct that and see how things go. We're playing as Daisy today because we haven't really had a chance to show her off so far in the Bellabel Park streams.
Collect coins, quick!
Okay, it's 25 seconds, so it's not like you're going to map through the whole level. But definitely there will be some state switching that you need to deal with, perhaps. If you do this, though, you'd have to circle around. Yeah, okay, that's actually pretty simple. We're not getting it this time, obviously, because of how things are going already, but we just need to sort out the route. Now, that's a quick timer. But probably there'll be some 10 coins near the end. And yeah, we'll just understand what the route requires right off the start. Yeah, we'll need to get this more immediately. And we can't really jump around that much. You do need to be quite a bit stricter about time. In general, I think. Got 10 coin down there, but then we'll need to figure out our route in that section, so hang on. This will need to be quite accurate. And then fall in immediately. Climb. Yeah, I can't really do so many extra jumps here and there. That's an interesting moment here in terms of how we get that 10 coin, actually. I hadn't thought about that. What do we need to get that with a throw or something? There'll be something to puzzle out about how we approach this. Whoops. Obviously can't do that. And yeah, shouldn't spend so long sliding on the wall, of course. Now, how would this even work? Let's see. You would need to maybe do some kind of up throw with the pot, and then use it to catch the one below the switch, I think, maybe? I'm not sure, actually. Like, maybe you do an up throw here, and then, oh, that's not going to be it. But yeah, that accounts for all the coins once you go down that descent, so we need to figure out how the 10 coin is going to work. It is something to do with that pod. Maybe if you do an up throw, it falls back in towards it, but, or maybe you need to do a throw to the left once you've tapped the next switch. But that's going to be key to the whole affair over here. Like this. That's kind of interesting that you can continue through that door on the right, but certainly you do need that 10 coin unless there's some other trickery that we're unaware of with why there's one additional door all the way at the end. I think you have to have it, but how to get it quickly is yet a little unclear. Because, yeah, you can fall through. Oh, you just need to fall through. But then we need to do so faster.
Once again, let's go.
Which makes me wonder why we're given that pot in the first place. Maybe it's just because it's part of the original layout. Yeah, we just need to drop below, actually. It's nothing to overthink. I just was misreading how the arc of the platforms tells you whether it's safe to fall through or not. And then, yeah, you have to go left. So otherwise, it just takes too long. We hesitated too long, but it is clearly doable.
Once again, let's go.
It's not that bad at all, actually. If it's not really a routing problem, it's purely an accuracy problem. We'll just keep some of the jumps a little bit tighter along the way. And then, yeah, remember to go left. That was quite bad. And even so, even if we skip it, we're 10 coins left, but we have a little bit of leeway in terms of the number of seconds that we have available if we just remember to go left.
Let the training begin.
Yeah, all of that could be cleaned up quite a bit, I think. Then we have to ride this out. There we go. Right on time. Within half a second, but that's okay. That's what it's tuned around, so not a big deal. Yeah, and Mario, we finished the single-player content up to the final set of unlocks. And that's what we're starting with today, the 14 difficulty 5 stages that were unlocked after we finished the first 60. So that's today's agenda. Okay, defeat the enemies in time, and this time we'll have the Flapjet, which is exclusive to this expansion. And let's see how well we control it this time. We can just ram into things, but we do have to be accurate when we're flying, because it's quite easy to not be accurate.
Let the training begin.
We'll just chase them all down. And yeah, we don't need every coin, but the coins give you some guidance as to where to hit accurately. So you don't run into that situation where you bump into something. And yeah, we missed a few already, but let's fly through the rest just to see what we're dealing with. And then, yeah, that's a whole lot of missing. We definitely slowed down a little bit too much along the way, so you do need to hit every ring. I think you only really need to adjust up or down, though. I think there's no advantage to pressing forward. So as long as we just tap up and down, we can be a little more accurate as long as we don't bump into that. That's deadly when you bump into that. And that's going to kill the whole attempt. But let's see how close we are to the finish so we know how much flexibility we have at the very end. And that's way too many misses and nowhere at the end anyway, so. Okay. It's a lot smoother, so hopefully this will turn into something. Missed it. So we missed one, but other than that, that actually is sufficient time for the attempt. We just need to clean up the accuracy slightly, and it's really not too bad at all. Yeah, this bit here is a potential trap, but we got it. Missed it. Same one, actually, so we just need to not overshoot that one, and we're fine.
Once again, let's go.
Yeah, and Mario, thanks as always for keeping up your watching streak. We appreciate your continued attendance. Okay, there we go. And within a second, but that's just how it's tuned, so not much to argue with there. Okay, Mama Mouthful. Elephant form with the jet run. We'll see what edges will be running off here. All of this is playable with multiplayer as the tip sheet in the last screen told us. Whoop. Yeah. Yeah, the jet run gives you tons of momentum on your way off a platform. And so you do need to be careful here. Okay. Nope. Too much fumbling around over here. That's okay, we just need to clean up all of it. Oh, no, was trying to whip that with the elephant, that did not go. And you do need elephant, otherwise you don't stop the Mamas quickly enough. Okay, 3 to go. Yeah, too much fumbling around and back and forth on that one segment, so we'll see. Yeah, the emojis are the main thing we're missing at this point in terms of collectibles. I don't know if the 7th medal that was added, this game is locked behind it, or if it's locked behind completing this content, but we'll find out. We're amassing enough currency that we've gotten maybe about 3/4 of the way through the collection. But it depends on how many duplicates we draw when we continue to cash in. Because you get a nice influx of cash just by doing these challenges since they're giving you 40 points each. So I don't know if that'll be enough by itself. But so far it's not like I felt like it's much of a grind. Yeah, okay, if we have enough time to bounce on the last 3, then we're good. Again, just too much back and forth in that one segment. It's fixable. I have all the flower types already, it didn't take long. So it's only the expressions that are missing. Yeah, so too much momentum coming off the edge there from the jet run. So we haven't really figured out how to adjust around a jet run for that one on the left yet. How to avoid going back and forth for so long. Probably with just more strategic jumping, I would think. Yeah, because then you don't back out quite so much. Still a little bit down on time for this. Yeah, the Daisy Elephant design has always been great. We noticed it right away when we played the game originally. I think the idea is that you jump a little early to negate the effect of the jet run. But you don't do that kind of slide, obviously. That's just going to take too long. I don't like that little corner in general. There might be a better way to do that than to get trapped there. Whoops. Yeah, and if you fall onto the platform, the jet run just propels you forward when you land. So the momentum control is a little bit tricky if you miss the gap. the way we've been doing here. Yeah, no, the thing is, I have to jump exactly in that gap, because otherwise a jet run sends you everywhere. Okay. Yeah, you see too much back and forth here. That's gonna be too late. So we need to fix up that spot. Yep, and if you land poorly, you just don't make that gap at all. You jump directly off that, it works. Okay, that's better than usual, much better than usual. Except I got stuck in this corner. If we didn't get stuck in that corner, that might have been the attempt. So, getting closer. If we can shave that to a slightly shorter jump, then that's going to be a big improvement. Yeah, unfortunately, if you lose the elephant, then you no longer get the immediate bounce on them, because they take 2 bounces. Kind of like the Rexes in Super Mario World. Gonna take 2 squishes if you're small. Yeah, the thing about the timer is that you really do have to master playing around the jet run. Can't really make too many momentum mistakes. I feel like we're still not doing this corner correctly. Yeah, I'm trying to do a short hop into that gap, because that's the best way to get down there without the jet run sending you too far. We can high bounce immediately to that Goomba, that's even better. But we shouldn't be too picky. And yeah, this platform sending me up is actually a bit of a problem. We should not be jumping there, actually.
Once again, let's go!
Because we need to fall off with a jet run in that location. I think that's the idea of what you're supposed to do. Okay, closer, but not quite.
Once again, let's go!
And then missed it. Okay, that's about as good as we've done that bit. Yeah, you can't really go back and chase on this one. Missed it. But this is the furthest we've gotten in terms of timing. So if we clean that up, that's almost right. The jet run is one of those mechanics that introduces difficulty because it puts the player in a state that is slightly out of control with the immediate dash upon landing. So if you land poorly, then things don't go well. Oh, almost. Just needed a bit more of a bounce there. Nope, see. I need to basically fall directly into that gap without overshooting, which is a bit of a problem with the jet run. Not ideal, but almost. No, if we just whipped that last one with the elephant, we would have gotten it.
Once again, let's go!
We just needed to use the trunk in that last one. If we have a placement like that, that was very close. No, got stuck here again. And yeah, once you get stuck there, then everything falls apart. Okay, this is getting a little bit cleaner. Nope. You need to do a bit of a pullback when you fall off with the jet run. And just hit that slot precisely. tight corner right here. Nope, missed it. Yeah, there's a way to smoothly navigate that descent into that little pocket, but it's a bit tight in terms of spacing. It's better than usual. That's a little worse than usual. And yeah, and then we were out of control a little bit with momentum. And
Once again, let's go.
we'll see how we do.
Let the training begin. Let the training begin.
Okay, here we are. Nope, too late. We want to have it be 5 seconds at that point. Just slightly too late there. I was trying to whip the last one to drunk, and
Once again, let's go.
we were slightly short on time. Okay, this might be plausible. There we go. And about a second of margin remaining. Very similar to the other one so far. Lots of room for improvement, of course. And I believe that's it for that set, so let's do clear course in time. There's only one here. Wavy ride through the magma tube.
Here we go!
Oh, this is with a spring. No wonder.
Get to the goal, quick.
Yeah, because you need to hop on everything with the spring
Let the training begin.
while riding the rail. Yeah, and the thing is, I don't think you can wait for the rail because it takes too long. You actually have
Once
to
again, let's go.
continue and bounce on the buzzies. I'm guessing that you do need to bounce on the buzzies instead of waiting for the ride because the ride takes too long. Hang on. Let's wait for an opportunity.
Once again, let's go.
Yeah. Just, yeah, past a certain point, you can start bouncing on the buzzies and getting all the way across. We stalled a bit too much on that first one, so I assume this isn't going to go, but yeah. Not enough headroom there to work with.
Once again, let's go.
Probably a smoother way to fall off the spring in locations like that, and maybe do a high bounce on the first buzzy too.
Once again, let's go.
Get on the lift right away. The thing is, it goes
Once again,
up and
let's
down
go.
there, and it doesn't give me enough headroom to jump on the next buzzy. Because once we get on the buzzies, then it's clear sailing for a good long stretch. And then we're stalling here a little bit. Nope. 7 seconds there. I think we probably need to sail right over those ones a little more cleanly.
Once again, let's go.
Yeah, trying to get off the lift here. And unfortunately, the way it goes up and down doesn't give me much of an opportunity to disembark. Because that block is too low to
Once again,
jump off the
let's
lift
go.
much earlier. You do kind of need to suffer through it, and once you get on the buzzies, things are great. Then we need to wait for this one again. Yeah, no, we shouldn't hesitate and try to land on that one. We should just skip over it to go to the next buzzy after him.
Once again, let's go.
Nope, too many bumps there. I was trying to get off the platform one jump earlier.
Let's go.
Not perfect. We made it. Nope. I was trying to get on that buzzy. We missed.
Once again, let's go!
Okay. Let's put a little further. And let's just power forward. No, the thing is, I don't have enough momentum on that buzzy to
Once
not
again, let's go!
bounce on a spike. The thing is, we're allowed to land on the floor. We don't have to hit the enemy necessarily in that location. I can just go behind him. A little bit off there. A twirl would have fixed it.
Once again, let's go!
Okay, not quite.
Once again, let's go!
No, just taking too long to get off of that.
Once again, let's
Just
go!
stuffs you there for ages. Nope. Bad landing.
Once again, let's go!
Hang on. No, we do want to bounce the first one. Let's just do this better.
Once again, let's go!
Or even bouncing behind it is fine. That's totally going to throw me off. Seven. Oh. The drill there actually kind of helps in an unexpected way. 2 seconds? Oh, no, we're way off. We need to get onto Buzzy's right away over here. So, yeah, we need to figure out a way to stop stalling so much on these lifts. Maybe if there's a way to go lower position here and then fall in ahead a little bit. Because we're losing too much time. We're definitely at least a few seconds off even.
Training begin.
And we can't rely on drill RNG to get us through that last bit in quite the same way. Because I'm not going to have much control over which power-up I get.
Once again, let's go!
Oops.
Once again, let's go!
Yeah, I need to get off of that platform much faster.
Once again, let's
The more
go!
we can shave off riding the waves, the better off we'll be. I'm going to pay attention to the time benchmark at certain safety points. 20 seconds over here. Oops, too high.
Once again, let's go!
Nope. Just trying to get a good angle
Once again, let's go!
down to that Buzzy, even after hitting the block. But you need to basically have one bounce after hitting the block and then come down. No, we just need to adjust a little bit there. I'm pulling back a little bit on some of the Buzzies. We don't have to hit them. There's plenty of ground to work with.
Once again, let's go!
Okay, nope. Too high bounce there. I was a little bit off my usual position in terms of getting the Buzzy bounce going up to the fire spike.
Let the training begin!
No, we have to do one landing after the block to readjust. Otherwise the spring doesn't behave the way I want. one landing, then we bounce. Nope. Too far that time to bounce on a buzzy down below. Didn't plan that well. Nope, slightly overshot there. 10 seconds at that moment.
Once again,
Almost accidentally tapped take a break because we were still holding right from running to the right. I mean, this is the difficulty 5. It should not be offering you breaks. You're kind of expected to try these for a bit. It's like we're back in a Wii era or something. All the breaks we're supposed to be taking. Okay, we got lots of time this time. 5 seconds. Way better than before. No, just fell off there. Lost momentum. I was trying to back off a little bit so I could adjust to the next buzzy. But anyway, getting there with 5 seconds on the clock is great. That's plenty of margin. So if we can do something as cleanly to get there, as long as we don't just die immediately outside the pipe drop, then that should be the attempt.
once again, let's go!
Hang on, let's not overshoot.
Once again, let's go!
Yeah, let's not go too high off of that one. Okay, we can just skip over here. That's a lot of time. So now it's just accuracy. 7 seconds. That's by far the best we've done here. Yeah, no, we should have just ridden the platform. You don't actually need to jump onto buzzies
Let's go!
if you're pulling back so aggressively to hit them anyway. So 7 seconds into that segment, we had plenty of time to just ride the platform and go from there. That was a bit of a misjudgment all around when I was trying deliberately to aim for the buzzies. On one of the other challenges that was on Discourse, we had a similar bad call there as well, I think, where, you know, it's actually more efficient. Whoops, overshot. Actually more efficient to just ride the platform slow as it looks, because the buzzies are just not that well positioned down below. I'll just skip the spikes entirely. Okay, 5 seconds. I don't know if 5 seconds is enough to do it from the platform here, but... yeah, the thing is, you had to pull back so much just to hit that buzzy, because
Once again, let's go!
we shouldn't go for that one. We should actually plan around going for the second one, I think. Because unless you're aiming for that one right off the top when you drop into the pipe, drop out of the pipe rather, the position relative to the first buzzy just isn't that good. That was not quite how I wanted to play that, but that's okay. We'll make it here about 5 seconds again. That's okay. So yeah, never mind the first buzzy. We're not going to catch it. Because the platform is going to be a little bit too weird about it. So 5 seconds is going to be a little too tight for that method. Let's try to get there with 6. Or 7 like we did before. It's very doable.
Once again, let's go!
With just a few adjustments. We dawdled a little bit in the fire spike segment that time, so... Okay. 6 seconds this time. Should be fine as long as we bounce ahead to the second buzzy. Plenty of time. Lots of room for improvement on this one too, of course. But we'll take the clear. Okay, that's it for that set. So now we have one challenge that's the invincibility, one that's avoid enemies, one that's avoid clones, and then the 7 boss rematches. And that's the whole set.
Stay invincible all the way to the goal!
Okay, so we'll see how the routing goes for this.
Let the training begin! Sparkly!
And I don't want to stall that much. Hang on. I mean, the contests don't matter, right? Like, you just need to not run into so many things at full speed. You're invincible anyway. Where's that next star? It's over there. Okay, stalled a bit too much everywhere.
Once again, let's go! Nice work!
Okay. Oh, no, got caught in the wall. That's not great. Yeah, had we not gotten caught in the wall, that would have maybe given us that extra second of leeway there. I really wish it would stop offering new badges
Let's go!
between attempts, because for most of the game I have that set to off, but it doesn't seem to respect the player selection when you're doing these challenges.
Let the training begin! Nice work!
Because I specifically had the setting in this game, which was don't offer me badges between every attempt.
Let the training begin! Great job!
But some of these challenges don't abide by that.
Sparkly!
I guess it's just a failsafe against anybody who might actually want it and missed out on it. Whoop! Hang on, I didn't expect it to go down like that. So yeah, you do need to ground pound after it once you get to that location, so we were a little bit late.
Great job!
That's okay, first time seeing that interaction, that's just going to happen sometimes.
Dazzling!
No, got stuck on this wall here, that's going to kill it. Probably about 2 seconds behind there, I had to guess, so just running into too many things.
Great job! Nice work!
We need to fall towards that star a little bit better so we don't lose so much momentum. Oh, got caught in the corner, that's not great.
Once
It's always just the time between stars that matters. The total time in the level does not matter, apart from kind of set a personal best or something. Much better there. Significantly better momentum coming out of that one. There we go. There's more. No, this is not the way. Hang on. That was a big goof there, just navigating poorly. We need to just keep going to the right. Okay, but we made it past the ground pound segment, so that's a new personal best.
Nice work!
Yeah, so the trick to that bit is to anticipate the star with a slight jump. So you maintain full momentum coming out of it. Got trapped a little bit here, that's not great.
Once again, let's go! Great job!
All those hold right speed courses of make are coming in handy here. Okay. Can't always just hold right, of course, because otherwise you'll get stuck in some walls.
Once again, let's go.
There are some places where you do need to pull back a little bit, or at least target the landings a bit better. Yeah, not getting caught on the corners is really the whole game here for this level.
Once again, let's go. Sparkly.
Maybe going top path is slightly better there, but that's okay. I mean, every time you hit another star, the timer essentially resets, so as long as we have a comfortable path to each successive star, we're okay. Got caught in the corner once again.
Once again, let's go. Sparkly.
Yeah, so as long as we have an easily repeatable path to each successive star, it just doesn't matter too much how we get there. Okay, good. If you run into a mistake, it might even be better to just go back to the previous star almost. Just to refresh that timer.
Once again, let's go. Great job.
Although the one that you catch on the way down the ground pound does stop at a position that's a little high up, so you can't just reset by running back and forth to it. Nope, just barely there. Almost made it.
Once again,
Still stumbling a little bit on the last corners.
great job.
Nope. Get caught in the corner. It's always going to be a problem.
Let the training begin.
I just plug in the sound off badge or something just to get the interface to stop bothering me between attempts. Nope, too late there. Do that corner once again. Needs to be a smooth jump up that diagonal, and I definitely don't have that worked out yet. You can't just stumble on every step like that.
Let the training begin. Great job.
Nope, stumbled.
Once again, let's go. Nice work.
Yeah, I just need to know where to sharpen up your angles a little bit. Actually cancel that at ground pound. I don't know if it'll make much of a difference here, but you never know. No, just in a situation where we still don't have a good solution for that
Once again, let's
jump
go.
right there.
Excellent.
I mean, there are a lot of things up to that point that are a little bit too slow as well. I think I'm pulling back a little bit too much on some of those jumps.
Great job.
I mean, we need more forward momentum in that sequence just to buy time. Yeah, let's maybe not pull back quite so much here. Just need to land accurately while doing forward jumps, and we can get that nice and accurately. Oh, that's not it. Oh yeah, no, this is wall jumps up to the flag. The flag's right here. Totally misread that block as something that you can pass through. Whoops.
Once again, let's go. Great job.
Yeah, that should have been the attempt. So the way that one succeeded was that I didn't pull back as much on some of the jumps after the ground pound star. And so I maintained a bit better forward momentum. So I treat this as a hold right segment. We just need to land on this platform here accurately, and then after that we can fall in. Nope. Still stumbled a bit too much there.
Once again.
But if you don't hit any walls in that segment, you're going to be okay.
Great job.
And by not hitting any walls, I mean that wall. And these walls.
Once again. Let's go. Great job. Sparkly.
I could definitely see some of the badges, like the ones that give you an extra bit of jump height, like the ones where you spin for jump height,
Great job.
giving you a very clear advantage in this level. Because there are so many places where jumps are cleaned up by just having a little bit additional height to get over a corner. But we're still going to do it with no badge, just because that's the way I've been playing Wonder throughout. It seemed a lot cleaner than usual. That was not cleaner than usual. This bit here ran into the wall.
Once again.
But
Excellent.
the horizontal stretch leading up to that was fine. Got trapped in a corner here. Let's just redo it.
Let the training begin. Sparkly. Great job.
Okay, almost missed that one. Oh, pulled back a little bit too much there. That could cause problems.
Once again.
Yeah, having so many obstructions in the interface between the restarts really does mess with one's muscle memory, because it's inconsistent about it too, right? Like whether it's offering you a break or not,
Nice work.
and then having to page for the batch screen, so it's a mild hindrance for those of us who don't like to take breaks and would like to have our flow state for hours.
Once again. Let's go. Excellent. Sparkly.
Nope, that corner's gonna kill it. Bit of a twirl there would have gotten over.
Let the training begin. Great job. Excellent.
Nope, missed it completely. You kind of need to get that lower ledge at full momentum going forward without backing off, for it to go cleanly.
Let the training begin. Wow. Nice work.
Okay, that's a lot better. We can do this bit. There we go. Just wall jump it. And that's to clear. Yeah, it was all about just reaching the last star. Okay, that set's done. Let's get to the extras now. It's going to be avoid enemies and avoid enemies with all the bloops around. And we'll have to get used to using the parachute cap again, which has been the cause of some of the bigger problems that we had.
Here we go!
Avoid the enemies and get to the goal! Let the training begin!
Now the thing is, you have all the time that you need on this one. You don't need to rush it.
Let's go!
Yeah, so sometimes it is worthwhile to stall a little bit just to wait for the spawn timing on some of these to get out of the way. Also, they do bump each other. We have to remember that. Oh. Nope. But we can take it patiently.
Once again, let's go!
The fact that they do bump each other actually is one of my favorite things about these elements that I
Once again, let's go!
think makes the blooms one of the more appealing things that Wonder could bring to a future Mario Maker. Because the best things in Mario Maker are always just pieces being able to interact independently with each other, right? And that's a signature element of several of Wonder's best enemies. And the blooms are certainly one of them. Oh. Need to get out of the way there.
Once again, let's go!
Jumped a little bit early there.
Once again, let's go!
Okay. Just mind the bumps on all of these. Just let them get out of the way. Whoop, just missed a jump. Missed the jump completely.
Once again, let's go!
Too bad!
Trying to make that gap.
Once again, let's go!
Need to do it a little more precisely. That one too.
Once again,
Might not be the best
let's
idea
go!
actually to take it this way. Let's just make it over like this. Give him a bit of room. Whoops, try to drop in between. That didn't work.
Once again, let's go!
Actually, you can just speed over those. Maybe that's easiest. And the Goomba will get cleared by the other one. Nope, I was trying to sneak under there and it just took too long to get out of the way.
Once again, let's go!
Yeah, just skip these if we can. There's a very clean pattern to do it if we can get it. Nope. Wasn't watching that column.
Once again, let's go!
Too slow.
Once
But if we
again,
can get
let's go!
this to happen regularly, that's going to be a significant boon to our chances. Oh. I saw that Goomba bump happening and luckily avoided it. Love the Goombas nudging each other. That was a fun animation to read. Okay. That was a bit of a tight slot there, but we made it. That came unexpectedly. All the Goombas dropping off
Let's go!
at once. That caught me a little off guard. Yeah, we ran into danger there. A little underprepared for what was about to happen. Okay. Alright, let's wait this one out. Because that causes lots of problems. I don't see a good way around just yet. Well, let them spread out a bit, and then I was about to say try to outrun. If we actually hit that gap there, that would have been fine.
Once again, let's go.
Yeah, you basically just need the space there to clear, I think.
Too bad.
Once again, let's go.
Okay. Let's let this one bump to the right. That's usually the part of the pattern that's going to work. Oh, almost got bumped by that Goomba there. Okay. Now we are not going to jump between the bloops. We're going to take this one patiently. If we can. It's looking a little bit thrilling there. Yeah, because
Once again, let's
if you
go.
can just wait that bit out, you can get the green blooms well out of the way. And then clear a path. There is a risky path to just jump and float over the blooms and land in between them, but we're not taking that. Looks too finicky to execute. Yeah, I saw that being a problem. This has thrown us off the usual pattern just a little too much here, but... Okay, let's sneak in. Yeah, you can kind of jump over and jump between, but we're not doing it. Let's... Let's try to sneak around a little bit. There we go, they're all gone. Now we outrun, and that's it. That was a bit of a dangerous outrun there with all the Goombas coming down the pipe, but in the end, not that much to deal with. As long as we hit the point where it seems like after a certain timer and a distance from their spawn point, all the blooms just kind of inflate by themselves, and we managed to take that and work it to our advantage. So let's take a look at the last avoid the coins. Bringing back memories of how avoiding the coins was the hardest thing about New Super Mario Bros. U. But of course here they're very clearly marked in blue, and so it's easier to treat them as hostile psychologically than if they are just sitting there as coins. And again, we have all the times we want... Oh, okay, good. Tapping the block and getting coins that way does not count as collecting coins. Good. Because that was absolutely a bit of a problem. Whoops. I was too far to the left there.
Once again, let's go.
I'm guessing you're not allowed to hit coins with fuzzy shells as well. I'd be really surprised if you were allowed to. Because that does count as popping the bubbles and collecting them. Yeah, we need to hit this guy for sure. This bit's not too bad. That's way too many coins. Yeah, we should not hit that. That spawns
Once
coins all
again,
over the place.
Let's go.
When in doubt in these challenges, let's not hit the flower buds. Yeah, no, you can just kind of fall at the bottom there and
Once again, let's go.
just stand it that way. Yeah, just take the bottom path like that. That's not too bad. Okay, let's... nope.
Once again, let's go.
Didn't see what was going on there, actually, with the coin spawn that happened. Nope, too high. Let's try to sneak under just a little bit lower there.
Again, let's go.
Just spin over the gap. There we go, like that. Okay, this stuff isn't too bad. Yeah, this coin here was giving us problems. Oh, we got it now. We'll stay low for some of this stuff. Nope. Yeah, once again, that was accidental. I really didn't want to hit that and spawn all the coins around, but had a bit of trouble avoiding the enemy there. We are allowed to take a hit. We're just not allowed to touch a coin. There are some circumstances where maybe taking a hit is the right thing to do in an emergency.
Once again, let's go.
Okay, let's keep on going. That was too dangerous. I thought I could get on that edge there, but
Once again,
the angle wasn't quite right and we slipped off of it like a wall. After this challenge, we'll have to get used to not having to spin again. Here we go. Dangerous, but we got it. Okay, let's get around this thing here. Nope, was trying to get over. Didn't quite make it. I think you can actually stay low for that one and stay below the platform. That might be easier. Anyway. Yeah, bopping that guy immediately left of the coin actually does make that fairly safe. Let's stay low here if we can. Yeah, much easier to go low. Much, much easier. And we'll just stay at the lowest point. And then, oh, looks like we do need to get off here. Whoops. Thought I had a little more room. And a little more momentum. That was such an easy jump, too. But at least we've seen everything up to the end of the Dragon Ride, which... Unless they have that wonderful Yoshi Dragon Wonder effect rolled into this, which has not been the case with any of the other challenges so far. We usually just don't see the Wonder Flowers. Whoops.
once again, let's go.
And we should actually be quite close to the conclusion, I would think. Okay, once again, bopping that guy immediately left of the coin is one of the easier things we can do, and I totally missed the timing.
Once again, let's go.
Stay nice and low over the gap. That's really the whole trick to many of the segments here. Yeah, just bop them and stay low. And stay low here as well. And we should be fine till the end of the ride here. And we just need to get off of it much more cleanly. This time maybe just fall off like that. Good. And then part 2. Nope, never mind. So yeah, we can... No, no, no. So close to the flag, and we just...
Once again, let's go!
Kind of flub that. I didn't quite get the contact with that enemy that I expected to, and so... That blew up right at the flag. But if that's the flag already, this is actually pretty easy. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Really hope that after the Koopaling rematches that we do in fact unlock some kind of major grand finale at 74.
Once again, let's go!
Okay. This must be pretty claustrophobic in multiplayer, actually, if you're trying to do this challenge cooperatively. It's not a lot of room to move around, even in a game that famously does not have player-to-player collision. I mean, having player collision would just make this not that playable. Oops. Yeah, Art Pop. He just finished watching the Nine Souls video on our last set of attempts, and the entry to the third phase was funny. Yeah, Art Pop, I was literally out of breath at that, because the fact that we had entered the second phase with my best phase 1 ever, and the fact that things seemed to be going well and I didn't know exactly how much would be left. I expected a third phase, but not how much would be left. I was forgetting to breathe in that fight, which I can't really remember the last time that I had a boss fight or a video game challenge of any sort like that. It was a very unique moment, that's for sure. No, just needed to sneak under that, and everything went wrong. I mean, the entrance to the third fight was funny. The exit from the third phase moments later was perhaps even funnier. Thought we'd have time to actually react to something there, and instead spent too much time fumbling around at different possible pause buttons. Oops.
Once again, let's go!
But part of why I'm pushing through some of the Wonder content with an extra stream today is because I would like to get back to Nine Souls tomorrow. And put in some time. I need to give my thumb a bit of a break first, because the physical element of doing a fight that movement intensive for that long necessitated a little bit of rest. Okay, let's be careful with this bit here. There we go, finally. Nope, dip too low before the spin.
Once again, let's go!
It was insta-death, but at least we now know that the first attack in phase 3 is going to be at least red, red, white, white. Dodge, dodge, block, block. I'm counting on myself to catch the unbounded counter from off screen, of course. So we actually had a little bit of information we got from that. I mean, you know, my first entry into phase 2 was kind of like that too, where when we saw it for the first time, didn't expect the new part of the pattern that was coming, and it does take you down from a full bar pretty much instantly if you're not paying attention. There we go. That will get us over to the end of this platform. Now, we have seen the flag before. It's not too long from here. Yeah, just jumping over that coin is much easier, actually. Why don't we just do that the first time? And then here, we just take it patiently. I don't know if we need the Buzzy Beetles for anything, but... There we go. Art Pop, you say that's okay, that's how you enter the third phase and the second phase, and actually also the first phase, if you're being honest. Yeah, it's just that kind of fight. You have to get all the way from being flattened in 5 seconds to eventually making it out with your heels intact. And I always like that kind of progression, that you can feel the learning curve and that you can really get a sense of taking something completely wild and bringing it under control. It's a very memorable feeling when it comes to boss design, so... Okay, that's it for all of the challenges other than the Koopaling rematches. And yes, descriptivist, you'll have noticed the shiny yet deadly coins in the level just now. There's a whole set of them, really. But technically speaking, these date back to NSMBU, where NSMBU, notoriously the hardest challenge in it for a lot of people, was the Avoid the Coins challenge, and there they just look like normal coins where mentally you just gravitate towards them. But that's kind of the basis for a lot of the shiny yet deadly coin avoidance designs that were later very heavily featured as part of the whole identity of Steve Gaming's YouTube channel. Yeah, Artpop, you're saying when you beat it, you were shocked and you think you had four heals left, rather, and it all clicked for you. Yeah, it's that kind of fight where, you know, in order to beat it, you need to be good enough that it feels astonishingly consistent, right? And we've seen so many bosses like that before, just not on that scale, in terms of how much learning there is to do and how accurate you have to be. So we'll see what it looks like when we finally get through it, and I do intend to put in a serious effort before too long. Anyway, let's go through all these. Oddly enough, Wendy is probably the fight here that I might be most worried about, because it is the one that has the most troublesome contact with the boss when you are small in the final phase. I think when we beat the Mighty Form, I actually had taken enough damage that we had to do it anyway, so we'll do it again. But in terms of what we're worried about when we have no power-ups, that might actually be one of the bigger obstacles. Nevertheless, it looks like it's probably just going to be a repetition of the same mighty patterns. We just need to play like we made mistakes right at the beginning, and, you know, we have experience doing that, so let's just do it.
Here we go!
Okay. And we'll do everything badgeless as usual. It's kind of interesting that despite having the enforced small state here, it does give you the opportunity to take an assistive badge, just in case. Because actually something like the spin high jump, or the actual height gain on twirl, rather, that would be very useful for this fight, for sure. Anyway, let's just get one up here. Yeah, she's a little quick here. We always miss her acceleration a little bit on that downward pattern. Always be aware of the fact that the Cheep Cheeps do come back up. The screen will get a little bit busy. But when you hit her, the whole chain of Cheep Cheeps afterwards does go down, so. Here we go. Oh, missed it. Yeah, you see, that's the pattern where she has a little bit of acceleration after the initial entry, and I found that it was missing contact with her quite a lot in that moment. But that's not the part that concerns us. The part is in the late phase when she starts bouncing on top of these small platforms here, where without the flower attacking her from below, it's actually difficult enough. It's difficult to get enough height to get on top and jump her later on. So we'll see how we do when we get there. Okay. Nope, not going to catch her here, I don't think. But yeah, it clears the whole screen when you hit her in that part of the pattern, so... yeah, you really need to anticipate that by a lot. Luckily, when she's coming up, that's an easier pattern to hit. Get on the platform for some of this stuff. And that should take you into the late phase. So this is the part that is a bit troublesome, because the thing is, you have to wait for her to come down and hit the ground, I think. Otherwise, you just don't get a moment to jump on her. Unless you get on top of some of the Cheep Cheeps and bounce that way, perhaps. But yeah, otherwise you need her to miss, and let's watch everybody else who's coming in. And we'll power through this phase if we can. Yeah, she accelerates a lot coming out of the portals, so... let's try to speed through some of this. Oh good, coming straight up, that's great. Perfect positioning for my purposes. Oop. If you're on the platform, you're actually largely safe there. Let's put her into the late phase. And this is where we need to be much more careful. Yeah, because you just don't get enough height on her. Otherwise, really do need to watch where all the Cheep Cheeps are coming in defensively. Because they're actually a more important thing to watch than Wendy in many ways. It's more important to stay alive. Getting to that phase was about as clean as it could have been that time. And we're not always going to get RNG on the portals that convenient. Nope. Okay, there we go. We'll just hang around here until we get Wendy back. And let's see what we get this time. Missed. Yeah, she's quite fast. Lots of opportunities to land a hit, thankfully. And that gets us into the late phase. Yeah, really have to watch the Cheeps and wait until she lands on the lower level. That's what we're waiting for, and of course you need to watch out for the Cheeps coming back up. That was over-eager, trying to anticipate her jump into the middle so we could actually get a jump on her. Really need to keep an eye on every single purple Cheep spawn. Not good height for me there. That's not gonna work. No. We have trouble estimating her speed coming out of those. And then, yeah, let's see. We'll hit everything we can. Just stay here for as long as we're able. And let's see how convenient this one will be. Pretty convenient. That one's not very convenient. But we got out. No, missed the opportunity. Yeah, if you bounce on top of the Chiefs, I think you get more chances, but we cannot always count on having that. Yeah, and then now she's bigger, so until she lands, it's going to be quite difficult to reach. One more. But she does need to be completely grounded. But it's not going to happen. Whoa, let's watch out. Yeah, don't want to be too greedy about the opportunity there, because I nearly got hit, and then I did get hit. Descriptivist, am I staying off social media? I'm very disconnected from a lot of Nintendo social media, and even so, I feel like I've already seen too much about things like the upcoming Galaxy film. I have not seen spoilers for this game, but the only thing I have left to unlock is whatever is after 74, after all the Koopaling rematches, so in terms of the single player anyway. Because this is already the third match with the Koopalings, and the only ones that are difficulty 5, so we're pretty late in the experience. So there's not much to spoil for me at this point. I think. I mean, unless there's a huge unlock past 74, that's... I'm expecting either some kind of variation that's on Bowser himself, or, I mean, ideally we have something that's going to compare a little more proportionately to the finale sequence of the original game, where I found that the original release of Wonder was definitely a little bit lacking in challenge content, but that it did have an excellent finale, and that for the first time we finally saw 2D Mario catch up to the 3D Mario penchant for marathon stages, and I've always been very fond of those. So we'll see what the unlock at 74 is going to be here. But yeah, in general, I actually see very little Nintendo social media. I'm on too many Discords and occasionally some other discussion boards and such, but I've cut most app scrolling from my life, and it leaves you so much more time for video games, you know? So. Okay. Okay, good. Convenient position that time. Not so convenient positioning this time, but yeah, main thing is to avoid a cheap. So you can avoid a cheap and you get a very easy hit. Yeah, Descriptivist, I remember you telling me that you had connections with the staff at your nearest AMC when you were telling me about seeing Kill Bill last year. And you're going to get into the employee screening on Monday. Do enjoy. I was very fond of the first film, actually. Much more than I expected to be. And okay, let's see Lemmy just knocking down a tower. This one, while you don't get as many flexible angles when you don't have the elephant, the bomb kicks still come pretty regularly. It's just that you have to get a very low angle on him. And as we discovered from fighting the Mighty Form last time, we don't want to risk jumping on top of him while he's still in 1 or 2 balls. We want to knock the tower all the way down. Otherwise, there's some likelihood we get obstructed. Yeah. Nope. Hang on. Let's just get some clearance here. Again, we want to do nice and low risk here. And knock them all the way down. Now, this chases you a few times in this difficulty, so in the Mighty Form. We need to lead it and give ourselves lots of space. And he's going to come down. That actually did hit. I was wondering about that angle. Let's back off a little bit until we have clear opportunity. Let's stay off of that one. And let's not go too aggressive here. Let's knock down the last one. Just be absolutely diligent about it. And then we'll get the even taller tower. After this pattern a few times anyway. Yeah, the important thing is to not get trapped in the corners or something. We just need to make sure we get a nice shallow angle so we have plenty of room to dodge. He's going to come down. We'll catch him as many times as possible, but the important thing is just to give ourselves space. And then, yeah, let's give ourselves more space. Don't need to be too aggressive. Some of those deflections really didn't work out, but it's okay. And it'll come down a couple of times. And let's leave some room and be extra cautious. And look at that. He took damage from the bomb instead of from a jump, and that was easy. Yeah, they found a good concept for designing a ball-based fight around Lemmy. Very conceptually fitting. Roy's got the best one, though, because he's got the booze wearing Roy sunglasses. Out of all the concepts here. But it's nice to see some big room scale fights and some thought given to how boss patterns might be brought up to a higher standard when it comes to 2D Mario, because for a long time you just have very basic 3-hit arenas for the Koopalings and for bosses in general, but that's something that should not be overlooked about Wonder in general, including Wonder the base game, even though the base game was a little light on boss encounters. But There was a lot more large-scale thinking about how Mario mechanics,
Defeat
attacking
them.
from all sides, having the flexibility to use different power-ups, could actually work in this context. And it's something that, even though we're only getting 7 fights here, that conceptually does stand out about what has been done with the expansion here. Okay, so this one we need to clear space, and then we'll watch what we're working with. If we can wall jump into a ground pound, that's usually going to be the best way to do it, if we can get the angle that we need. Some things about this fight are actually easier small, because you can fit to better caps. Leave room. Leave room. Later on, we have to remember that in the mighty form, we need to anticipate the climb up to hit him in the fist phase. Yeah, so let's just not get squished by the top half. He's approachable from top here, so oops. Yeah, so top half comes down, bottom half goes up. We know that, we just need to play around it accurately. Descriptivist. About Mario Maker 3, I've got a lot of expectations about Mario Maker 3. I think they don't ship it without some substantial Wonder representation. I think that's the one thing that it will absolutely have. But the thing about Mario Maker, remembering the transition from 1 to 2, is that from engine changes, some of them deliberate, some of them maybe not really as deliberate. Inevitably, there are going to be things that break about what people are used to in Maker 2, and a lot of concepts that need to be rethought from scratch, and a lot of frustration at things that no longer function the same way. And I think people need to be mentally prepared for that. Like how losing amiibo costumes from Mario Maker 1 to 2, for instance, was a massive loss that was absolutely felt, but... Okay, we have room to go above him, so we don't need to hit 3, we can just go ground pound from above. And we should. Oh, there we go. He's gonna go to this side, let's just stand on the square here, so we have some room. And we'll try to approach top side here too. Yeah, it's actually easier small. Just without that margin of error. There are a lot of things I'd like about Adventure Maker 3 that I wouldn't necessarily count on. Oops. Yeah, so this is the part of the pattern where you actually need to go ahead of the fist so you can have an extra jump to break the blocks up top below him. We know that, I just didn't map out the path quickly enough. Yeah, so Descriptivist in the easier modes, we're doing this fight on the hardest of 3 difficulties so far, essentially. In the easier modes, you're given the elephant power-up, so you can actually hit things from the side, and so you have a little more flexibility for how to approach. If you hit him from below, you have to hit him 3 times, that's the thing. That's a very interesting nuance in this fight, I find. You ground pound from above, you just need to hit him once. But if you hit him from below, then he's coming down, you have to get him before he squishes you, and you have to hit 3 times. So there's a bit of nuance to how you want to go about it. It is a very well-designed fight, and again, once more, this is that sort of large room-scale thinking that rewards platforming, that I think is finally, at long last, the right approach to thinking about how a 2D Mario boss should be. Because that's something that I think Nintendo had trouble solving for a long time. Oh, no. I was hoping to crack that before that squish came. That was just a little bit too late. And yeah, I think this is a very, very well-designed fight. It might be one of my favorites in the set. Because, once again, you're doing platforming, you're playing with a room. You have to plan a route through the layout. There's lots of flexibility for how to approach. It's got a lot of the right ingredients. Whoops, we lost our whole ground pound road that time. That's okay, we got it. Oh, no. I got stuck, so I can't approach. I'd actually never seen that happen before, because if you're small, you can actually fit between the fists, but if you're not, then, well, you don't. So, I'd actually never seen that interaction. This is the first time we've been pushed by the fists, actually. So, that was a little bit new. Yeah, I need to clear enough space. Then I need to clear enough space going this way, because otherwise we don't have enough room for the ground pound. And yeah, if he goes too low, then you miss your opportunity, so. And then he ports over to the other side and you continue that way. So this will be a clear route above, if we can get it. Lots of space above him. Descriptive as how hard are the final boss fights in Bonanza? Much harder than the rest of the game. It's a noticeable difficulty spike. At some point I want to do the 0 banana run in Bonanza, where you don't pick up any character upgrades and critically no health upgrades, because you skip every banana. The game is absolutely designed to allow and even encourage you to try it, but definitely the thing that would be most worrisome about that is the incoming damage on the last fight. Because I found that when I did the last fight, I had to do a lot of healing to get through it. Yeah, had to watch out for that platform coming down. Let's make some space here. Oh, let's get out of the way. Too close. Much too close. That's okay. This will be a pretty clear wall jump opportunity once you get up to it. As long as we don't miss. And that's it. Yeah, descriptive is, if you play Bonanza, you don't have to pick up a single banana. Every time you're given it as a reward, it's dropped into an easily avoidable place, and so you do not need to upgrade any skill points. And since the launch of the game, I've been thinking about doing it that way. It would actually be a very quick run because you're not doing anything optional, right? Like you're just beelining to objectives and hitting the next layer. And you have all your Bonanza powers, you just don't have the upgrades for them. But again, the issue is that you would go into the final boss with the 3 hearts and not many options for replenishment. Anyway, if we do that at some point, we'll stream it. But in terms of Bonanza, I want to get through all the Emerald Rush content first, which on the highest difficulties, we actually still have a lot to do. So I've been going back to the game every month for the monthly challenge, and usually when we do the monthly challenge, as you might know, we play a bit of the standard stages on high difficulties as well. And eventually we'll get the full clear. So anyway, here's Roy. You'll see what I mean about the Roy boos. Because they are adorable.
Defeat Roy!
And they are lore accurate in some ways because by wearing their shades, they can look at you and not have to avert their eyes from Daisy's general sense of radiance. Okay, so we need to wait until we're delivered the cannon. This is the cannon that everybody remembers from Kirby Triple Deluxe and Planet Robobot. That fires into the background. And here are the boos. Aren't they amazing? I really hope we get some of these boos as profile avatars in connection with this game. Just incredible design. Okay. I don't even remember which power-up you get in this fight originally. It must have been Flower. but it's not too relevant to how you fight with Roy, so this fight should not be too different from how we had done it before. Oh, whoops. Except, of course, I need to make the jumps. That's kind of necessary. Okay. Let's walk around here a little bit. And see what's going on over here. Oh, let's get in position. Later on in hard mode, you need to run around a little bit to find the slot that isn't already occupied by Boo, but it's really not that challenging. This is one of the easier fights. It's just really fun to look at. You need to plan your route over to Boo's in advance sometimes when they're coming in towards you, so you have somewhere to escape. But it's not too hard to just track him and focus him down while he turns his ship and launches more fish bones everywhere. The screen's a bit busy, but it's not too hard to dodge everything. Okay, next ship phase. So now we need to run around to find the open slot. Here it is. We need to track it a little bit for when it comes down. You're saying you're playing bullet hell out here? Wouldn't you say it's bullet hell? Okay, now let's get over here. Now, it's not that bad because everything's so big, right? The visibility is great. You'd think that big things would be hard to dodge, but no, it just makes them easier to see and distinguish, and so it's really not that bad. You just need to kind of plan your route to the nearest platform in advance sometimes because you don't want to get caught out of position. You just need to track them. Then more fish. Yeah, so you see Boo's coming in from the left. That's a cue to get on this platform. You just have to see when Boos are coming in for the lower level and plan well in advance. That's really all there is to it. Descriptive is, you think the game is teaching the word buff to a lot of people for the first time. Did you know that the way that people use buff and nerf to mean adjustment of player stats up or down, it actually comes from Blizzard RTS. It originated with the Warcraft and StarCraft games. And the lingo about, something being nerfed because it's going to have a softer attack like a Nerf gun, it comes specifically from Blizzard RTS culture, and it's well documented. Yeah, there are a couple of really interesting things about video game lingo etymology that are fun to look back on because they're still recent enough that they're well documented and the people who coined the words are still within easy reach and reference. So, for example, the word cutscene actually comes from Ron Gilbert, who's the designer of adventure games like The Secret of Monkey Island. He was the first one to refer to narrative, non-interactive segments as cutscenes, for instance. And so there's a whole bunch of stuff around that. And you can kind of trace a whole bunch of other words to various designers of various subcultures before they really took off. And descriptivist, you're saying that You don't like how brushing the side or the top of a sprite of a Hollow Knight boss deals contact damage? I guess so. Well, I don't know. It's kind of interesting because recently, having played Mio Memories in Orbit, the really noticeable thing about that game is that the bosses do not have contact damage. And in some ways, that really draws attention to itself with how different it is than most of the genre.
Here we go!
Defeat Iggy!
Okay, so we need to mine the plants. Particularly, we need to mine being pushed by the watermelon seeds. That's really one of the main risk factors in this fight. Otherwise, we just wait for the opportunity to pop them. And then everything fills this way, and so yeah, we stay low until we see where the seed pattern. This part's not too bad. So now we need to watch out for the watermelon seeds a little bit, and wait until he comes down so we can reach him easily. Okay, that's the watermelon seed push that we are concerned about. One of many things in this game straight from Yoshi's Island. Get over the watermelon seeds, and then let's get over here, and then we should be within range for the next pattern down. There we go. I'm saying they're watermelon seeds, yes, because there is a watermelon piranha plant design in Super Mario Wonder that spits the same seeds. And, of course, in Yoshi's Island, it's the monkeys eating the watermelons that spit the seeds at you and push you around. It's the same mechanic and same kind of design. But very clearly the piranha plants that do the seed pattern in this game have a watermelon design around their exterior. Okay, that went pretty well. So, as I was saying yesterday when I did this fight, you can see how the whole basis for designing this fight around Iggy is that his head kind of looks like a plant to begin with. Like you want to pull him up by his roots. Yeah, and the new power-up, the flower power-up, gives you the Yoshi flutter jump. So there's quite a lot of Yoshi's Island going on in this. Anyway. Fierce fight while small against Mighty Morton. Let's do this one. This one's a fun one to watch. And another one where not having the power up doesn't matter too much.
Defeat Morton!
In its original state, this one has the flower power up, actually because the thing that helps most in this fight is the Yoshi flutter jump that I was just talking about. Because there are a few jumps that are easier to make with it. Because otherwise you have to wait for him to bounce platforms up and give you a little bit of height. So let's let him break as much as he can so we actually have access to platforms. So we need to let him fire away here. Yeah. And then, yeah, we need to basically get a block that's going to give me enough height to reach. And when you reach, you interrupt his arms. So I need him to give me a few more blocks, so we'll trace him here until some blocks have surfaced completely. That's going to be too close. That's not going to be far enough. Oh, whoops. Fell into that one gap there. Descriptivist, Yoshi's Story on N64 is actually one of the few games in the Yoshi series I've not played. I know it's on the Switch Online service, but most of the other Yoshi games I know much better. Yoshi's Woolly World on Wii U I think is particularly great. Yoshi Touch and Go on DS actually I think is severely underrated as an early example of an arcade style endless touch game that is kind of like a precursor to a lot of what mobile design would do about a decade later, but with the kind of Nintendo polish that you don't see in a lot of mobile design. And so it's a game that I think does not get nearly enough credit because at a time people were looking at, you know, a very simple arcade-style endless game, like a score attack game being charged as a full-price title, and everybody just kind of hemmed and hawed about the price back then, like the way they usually do with Nintendo games. Whoops, totally didn't anticipate that the ball would still be that close at that point. I thought it was going to make it over. But yeah, Yoshi's Woolly World, I highly recommend to people when it comes to 2D platformers, because there's a certain school of thought that, you know, Yoshi's Island just kind of peaked at the first game and has never reached anywhere near the same height since. And while there's a lot about Yoshi's Island that has never been matched and has not been replicated, that really understates how good Yoshi's Woolly World actually is. Looking forward to Mysterious Book, of course, in May. I don't know if I'll stream it necessarily, but we'll likely pick it up at some point. I need some height here. We need these blocks to come up. One additional stack. Whoops. Just aimed that one a little poorly. So yeah, we'll see how things are looking in May, because things are pretty busy right now. Yoshi's launching very close to the 007 game by the Hitman developers for one thing, and we'll probably have some other backlog still ongoing at that point too, so we'll see. A lot of decisions about what to stream on this channel usually come down to, you know, how much room there is for player creativity and for making the playthrough very much my own. Maybe that's going to be the case with New Yoshi, depending on how flexible the systems are for mixing and matching different things that you can apply to inventive interactions. But oh, no, too close to that one. Still can't quite reach here. Okay. There we go. Finally. That took too long. Yeah, so you want him to give you stacks that have gone up that extra step. And you want to protect those stacks until they get high enough for you to make that jump. It's not as noticeable when you do play this fight with the flower, because the flower gives you the extra height that you're looking for, and so very often we didn't really even have to interact with that condition. Okay, so I'm going to get plenty of clearance on the spike balls well ahead of time, which is the mistake we made last time. And yeah, we want to open space for more blocks as soon as possible. Oops. Nope. Nope. Have to retain the blocks. And just raise a few stacks. as with the Larry Crystal rectangle fight, this one does, when you play without power-ups, reward quite a bit of planning, which I find very rewarding. Whoops. A little bit too late. And yeah, it is the Lakitus that are pulling the strings here, because of course they're always pulling the strings. We know that from Mario Kart. And you just know they have the most cheerful expression on their faces when they're doing this, right? Like they always do. They love their job. Let's raise a few stacks. Yeah, so you just need to keep boxes alive enough, long enough that you get full height off of them. And then it's easy to reach whatever you're trying to reach. Okay. He took down the other high stack there, but we got it quickly. Yeah, we need to let him raise the boxes here and then jump the spike ball before it comes up. There we go. It was almost too late. Let's crack open as much as we can. Not let him break the boxes, that's too bad. Yeah, we've had to do a lot more planning around the height of different boxes here than we did before, when we did have power-ups. But that has actually shown off a lot more about the finesse of how this fight was designed. And you see, if you stack the boxes really high, then you can just jump up without waiting for the bounce as well. Okay, so this is the part where you avoid spike balls again. Just need to anticipate the timing. Oop, that was too close. Way too close. Yeah, now he's going to take out the whole floor. And it's okay, we just need to raise some long stacks of boxes and we'll be fine. Get some more boxes going on this side. Whoops, it's too late there. We got so far in the fight too. That was just such a dreadful mistake. And yeah, who says Puppet Morton doesn't appreciate the work that the Lakitus are putting in here? Anyway, let's raise some boxes. And if you plan well, you can do this quickly. Just by keeping the right boxes alive. Yeah, for some reason in the dialogue, for the first time, they sort of decided to characterize Morton in this game as the sort of dim-witted and not entirely verbal one. And whoops, that was a big mistake. Which is new to the series. I don't think we'd ever really seen that before. Unless there was some precursor for it in one of the Mario and Luigi RPGs or something, where the Koopalings make various appearances. But I think that's probably just a consequence of Morton hitting himself in the face so much. At least in his puppet form. Let's prepare some stacks. Whoop, not quite. Then let's just get over here to grab another stack. Yeah, these are great fights. They reward lots of planning, and because it does track your clear time, there's going to be a lot of work put into seeing how they can be optimized even further, I'm sure. Okay, let's jump this preemptively. Last time we were hanging back way too long. Just need to clear them as soon as possible. Okay, there we go. Getting some really good positioning from the contact point to pull here. Just had some very convenient handles on those strings in terms of where we had available blocks coming down through the middle. Anyway, we haven't really been having trouble with this fight as such. I've just been, making a couple of mistakes here that we hadn't really seen before when it comes to spike ball phase. I never had any trouble with the spike ball phase yesterday, but today we've had a couple of mishaps on exactly the same pattern. Okay. That one's a little far, unfortunately. So that'll get smashed. Let's track him this way. Oh, no, that's too bad. Lost that platform. Yeah, let's raise more stacks. Yeah, if you have a very clear center column, you can just reach everything. So, if we leave the central one alive, that makes a lot of things work. Of course, later in the last part of the pattern, there's no floor at all once he breaks everything, so you just need to adjust around that accordingly. And let's just demolish everything segment by segment. And that'll be a very clear location to work with. Oh, shouldn't have smashed the middle one. Actually, we needed that one as a platform. That was a bit of a goof. Nope. A little late in that. I knew I was going to be late there, and unfortunately didn't wall jump quickly enough when we wall. Yeah, let's plan here. Yeah, we just need to have a very clear plan for which blocks we're raising in the long term as stacks. In fact, if you have it stacked like that, you can just reach the next one immediately, and you have a really clear center column to work towards. That is stacked a full 2 blocks above the platform. Certainly some of the speed methods for this will involve that, just, you know, leaving a really high stack alive in a good central position to reach everything. Well, handle's over there, so let's pull string rather. Don't know if we can reach that one from this side. Let's check it. Not really. But we'll need to have him smash this just to give me a little more room to move. And then that'll be a very clear point to approach over here. And then he's going to replace the whole floor next. After the spike ball pattern, that is. Now we just need to play this cleanly. Whoa, that was too close. Didn't stand in a very good location there. Oh, I missed my jump there. Really needed that jump. And then we'll get a very clear location here now. No, missed. Unfortunately, that takes down too big a stack. There we go. And that's it. Okay, Ludwig next. Now, Ludwig has one part in the late phase that does concern me a bit, that we have found a little hard to dodge, but I think when we cleared him, we also did take a bit of damage early and have to work through it while small, so we'll do it. And then we'll see what is unlocked after that at 74, because that's the last one available at the moment.
Here we go!
Defeat Ludwig!
Yeah, so the wind direction switches pretty quickly in this fight. That's one of the main things to watch. That you need to know where you're pushing against in order to clear enough room to get around the boss. It's actually one of the late phases where you really need to race to Thunderbolts. That is going to be a bigger concern. We need these clouds to start going. If we can, there we go. You think Ludwig resembles a Pokemon? I mean, he raised Pokemon by several years, so I think the Koopalings had to pull a bit of rank there when it comes to seniority. Oh yeah, because I guess he does the thing that Pikachu does here, right, with the lightning strike. That clears so much space in Super Smash Brothers. Okay, let's try to get a Cloud over here if we can. Are we getting Cloud? Yep. Very soon, and now we just pop these to make it over. So I do wonder if we get something like an enhanced Bowser fight at the end. It makes a certain amount of sense. I hope we get something at the end. I mean, there's the padlock in number 74, so there's something unlocked for that. Whoa, really had to push through there. That was getting a little bit tight. Okay, we can get this Cloud going, then we'll reset. Now this part of the pattern found a bit tricky, but we managed to get that climb. So now we do the full climb up the central column. And then that's where things get a little bit tricky with the jump accuracy requirement. That you really can't miss your ascent up the platform because you just don't have enough time to make mistakes in the next part. Yeah, because eventually some of these beams are going to rotate. And you need to be very accurate about getting out of there. Because you have to deal with wind and lightning in this part. Okay. Here we go. Now let's see what he's got for me. Yeah, same idea. Just need to watch everything and not get hit by the Cloud on its bottom, actually, which was a big problem we were running into yesterday. Oh, whoops. Yeah, wind caught me on that corner there. I didn't expect to miss that platform on the right. That's the thing, so we fell in a little too far to the left. That's a pretty big restart, but we'll get there. I like the length and scale of the boss fights. I like that they finally have a little bit of meat on the bones, as it were, when it comes to some multi-phase design that extends beyond the usual 3 heads. As it is a significant leap in the quality of 2D Mario boss design, for sure. All over Wonder in general, but it's particularly noticeable here. Give me a Cloud. Whoops, no, I got stuck in the water there when I was jumping. Didn't expect the rain to come exactly then when I was hopping around. So yeah, the lesson there is don't hop around until you've confirmed that water has come out. Because you might get caught in midair and get stuck in swimming speed, which was not advantageous. Better to just get around him as soon as possible here, because then you just don't deal with him for the rest. And yeah, look at that. When you get around him that quickly, he just zips all the way to the side of the screen and continues the pattern to save time, essentially. That'll eventually be a time save worth looking for anybody who's actually trying to speed through it. Anyway, let's try to make it through as soon as we can, just so we get through everyone. And once you're through, then you don't have to deal with the rest. And you can just continue the rest of the fight. Here we go. Let's see if we get this cloud relatively soon. Give me the cloud. Oh, we got the right side cloud instead. Okay, now we go. Well, yeah, and Mario, I mean, this is the third match with the bosses, right? So, of course, as the final requirement is a no-hit. I'm glad the Mario series has gotten back to some of that. Back in the Galaxy games, of course, we saw things like the Daredevil Comets, culminating in Galaxy 2's Perfect Run. And I felt like Odyssey was kind of missing that sort of thing because, you know, Odyssey's final stage, relative to the ones in the 3D Mario games before, it was actually kind of too generous about just letting you replenish halfway and make lots of mistakes and take damage. Because the older marathon stages, like Champions Road and 3D World, were in some ways a lot more perfectionistic. Champions Road lets you take 2 hits because you start out as Big Mario, but even so, Champions Road, you know, you kind of need that hit buffer available to you. And so even it's a 2-hit level, it feels essentially like the perfect run because of what you need to conserve your mushroom. So it's kind of nice to have these no-hit challenges again in the 2D space as well, like you see here. Okay, we have to go up the platforms right away when they come out, because otherwise you get outpaced by the lightning. It's just one more hit. We just will try not to get caught on the clouds like we did last time. Yeah, because you have to be very attentive to the wind, which can look very faint in the background if you're not that attentive. So we don't take this bottom platform while it's too close to the cloud, because... Okay, we got on that cloud accurately. That was the thing we missed last time, and which makes a huge difference. Because if you miss that cloud, you know, things don't go nearly as well. But here we got him. And when we unlocked these 14 challenges yesterday, it was about 5 hours into the single-player content here, I think, and I was estimating, oh, you know, we'll probably take another 2 hours, and that's why we're not running it at the tail end of yesterday's stream, and there you are. We pretty much took them in about 2 hours. So it was well in line with expectations. Now let's see what we unlock at the end. Oh, we capped out at $9.99 on the currency. I actually should have uncapped that and spent some of it down earlier, because maybe that makes the difference when it comes to whether we unlock all of the emotes. We're going to spend as much of that as possible, though. Yeah, because the thing is, you don't actually receive the water until you get ejected out of the challenge board, and we should have noticed that and cashed some of that in part way. You finished them all at last, which means you get dispatch. Okay, so I guess it doesn't actually unlock any new challenge. I guess that this is it. Legendary Explorer. And there we go. That actually is over here. So, okay, that's it then. That's all there is for the single-player challenges. So, single-player's done. You're legendary members of our brigade now. We all look up to you. You can give any of the training courses a go as many times as you like, of course, so please enjoy them with gusto. Okay, so yeah, if you look at the board here, it now says course is clear 74, and there isn't something that's unlocked at the end. No. I am going to stay on a bit longer because we'll try something, let's just say that, because I finished early enough today. But before we do that, I'm going to cache everything that we can in order to try to clear the remaining greetings that we're missing here. I don't know if we have enough coins to afford that, just given the random rolls. I really wish we hadn't potentially squandered some of the Bellabel water currency by letting it cap out like that, but that's just what happens sometimes. And... oh yeah, we'll skip so we can page through this quickly. I spent entirely too much time reading some of this stuff yesterday, but... we have all instruments, we have all flower variants, all we're missing are the greetings, so... but of course, you obtain more duplicates of the flower variants, you can afford more decoration choices for everything that you can choose to decorate in this zone, as well as the multiplayer zone north of here that we haven't actually visited yet. The Bellabel Park, where you actually do meetups with other players, theoretically. Now, I'm told that there isn't multiplayer online with random strangers in this game. There's no random queue. It is very much a friends mode. There's an online multiplayer segment and a local multiplayer segment. And as one player here, we'll see if we can make something work, because there's something I would like to try. And I'm not sure it will quite go, but we'll get there after we see how much we get off of this. Just in case the 7th medal that we're still missing is tucked behind collecting all greetings, I heavily suspect it is, because it certainly wasn't tucked behind clearing the legendary explorer rank. The piano flower. So look at the exclamation marks here if you're asking about duplicates. The exclamation marks tell you things that you have not obtained up to this point. I'm pretty sure there was a little bit of seeming inconsistency with that I was noticing yesterday, but I might just have misread something. But you'll notice that we no longer get any exclamation marks on the types of flowers. We did actually get a notification yesterday that I have collected all flower types at least once. It doesn't seem like we get duplicate emotes, so we get duplicate flowers because they stack up as currency. But it doesn't seem like we ever get duplicate emotes. Whenever you see the greetings, they are always new. And yeah, like I said, the exclamation marks are what distinguish them. Previously, we also got the instruments in the band off of this, but we collected them all quite a while ago, so that's what unlocks the end credits, getting the 12 or so instruments. So again, we'll just spend all the way down. Whoops. And then we'll see what happens. I like that thinking flower one. That's interesting. I haven't bothered to configure the emotes on my end or anything because we haven't been playing the multiplayer yet, but we'll take a look at some of the selection afterwards, perhaps. But for now, we have to cache this in another 10 times or so. You can replay the training missions. Oh, did we actually get... Hang on. We got all the greeting flowers. Yes, we did. But there's no medal yet. So the medal is not for this. It's for something else. So we're missing the 7th medal, essentially, on the save file. Because we have the 6 medals, 2 of which we had to re-obtain for obtaining all the standees and badges because there are now a lot more badges. But I guess there's something else that you still have to do for the final medal. It could be unlocking all decorations for all I know, which actually will cost quite a bit in terms of currency. So I'm going to continue to spend down here because we want as many duplicates as possible to buy up as much of the decoration collection as we can, because if it is a collectible that locks the 7th medal, we would like to see that. I don't know if it's something that will require the local multiplayer, but we will see. The one thing that we have not completed as a collection yet are the decorations that you buy with these flowers. And so I could absolutely see it being the case that this is what that's locked behind. But yeah, collecting the remaining greetings actually did wind up coming pretty quickly, so we'll just spam away through this. And we'll buy up all we can from the decoration board as well. Although there's enough going on with the different decorations that you can get on the multiplayer side that I think it may be some time before we have the resources to see them all. Now, if you run out of Bellabel water, you were asking earlier, do you just need to replay the challenges? Like I said, I assume that you can obtain them in the multiplayer activities as well. It makes a lot of sense that you would, because a lot of the decorations that you can use the flowers on are in the multiplayer zone. Okay, so that's all we can afford for now until we get one more bit of water. Unless we, of course, cash in a couple of them individually here, one by one, but that's slow. So the decorations are these, the flowers here. And so you can buy specific resources that you may be missing if you're trying to fill in particular gaps. And actually, that might be a good deal, because normally you pay 5 to draw 1 of anything. We're paying 40 to draw 8 of anything. It actually is more cost efficient if you have the type that you want to buy them here instead. And it tells you the count of how many you have of that particular type. And yeah, this is our flower collection. We got everything. And this is the decoration collection. So we had the block arch over here because we bought it up yesterday, and we bought up most other things. Let's just buy up the rest of the arches in this section, actually. And we'll just prioritize buying up everything in the single player zone first with whatever currency we have. But I do like the brick design, so we'll stick with it. That's the most Mario-like. And yeah, so now everything's been obtained over there. Here, we're just missing a few. So we'll see if we can buy up as much as we can of this collection. Until we've seen everything we can here. One more. Okay, so we now have obtained everything that's in the single player zone. I went with elephant and butterfly yesterday, and we'll keep that. But as you can see, we're already expending some of the flower types completely, and we still have 6 other decoration points that we can choose from once we get into Attraction Central, which we haven't even touched yet. Now, the thing is, Attraction Central requires multiplayer. So, here's the plan. Yeah, so we've done absolutely everything here. Does Captain Toad want to tell me anything? The time we spent with our friends is invaluable. It looks like a real treasure is closer than we think. That's the captain. Always so inspiring. Still, I'd rather have the shiny stuff. Anyway, we're still early in the stream. I'm gonna try something. So, does Attraction Central require me to plug in 2 controllers right away? I mean, I guess there are some things that you can do with people online, and so if that's the case, then obviously you can enter as a single player. But do you want to check things out solo? Let's check things out so we know what's there, and then we're going to, again, try something. So we can just explore the park, it seems.
This is the attraction central of Bellabel Park. The Poplins who have joined the Toad Brigade are in the midst of setting up the various attractions. To the left is the local multiplayer plaza. This is where you can compete or play co-op with others in local multiplayer.
So, MR, you're saying to your knowledge, from what you saw, you can't play the games, just walk around it in single player, yeah, but we'll see what the current state of things is and take a look.
To the right is the Game Room Plaza. This is where intense competitions are held. Hop into a game room to play. Finally, in the center, you will find the Attraction Tour. Here, Wiggler will serve as your guide for all of the exciting attractions.
Oh, that's probably
Invite someone to
help
play
pages
with
and such.
you.
This all looks fun.
Uh-huh.
And Prince Florian can run around all he wants. But what we'll do, I don't know if we want to sit through the tour necessarily. Nah, I guess, well, let's take a look here. You go to the local multiplayer board, and then it just tells you about that. Co-op attractions and versus attractions. Okay. And then, yeah, you have another one of these places here as a node to cash in your Bellabel water. Coin spree. Battle game. So you can see what's available. And let's just keep going. So you got versus here. Now co-op, I know, has the one that has the mouse mode challenge, which is interesting. Just place donut blocks and reach the goal in donut block maker. You've got a bomb relay. Oh, look at this little parade here, because you've collected a full band. They do a parade through the park. Fly free, Captain Toad. Jump challenge 2 attractions. Okay, coin and jump count. And then, what is this section here? We'll eventually be able to replace some of these decorations as well. All of this is versus. And then this probably tells you to connect online. For multi-system multiplayer, certain attractions can only be played in game rooms. Yeah, because for the sake of camera control and such, it would be 1 player per screen, so naturally that's how it's going to go. And it's got some of the new things like the flap jets that we saw in the challenges and the bouncy ball for that matter. Kind of interesting that Fanto at last makes a non-maker return to the series in this format. And then what is this? Inside scoop. When you're competing in a propeller flower race or flapjet race. Oh, that's interesting. It's got a slipstream mechanic, kind of like in Mario Kart, essentially. So you get little tips about how to play. Now, we're not going to show off the verses today, obviously. But it was my intention to show off the co-op. And I will show you what I'm talking about in just a moment if we can actually make it work. So here's what I've got going. We're going to go to player options. We're going to go to 2 players. And then right now I'm on my Super Nintendo controller, but I'm going to switch over to my Joy-Cons once I get them undocked. And hang on, we need to reconfigure this completely. Let me see if I can... Nope, wrong one. Let's... I do need them in the correct order. One moment. We're going to see if I can do this. Hang on. No. How do I reorder? I think I have to go to the system level to reorder. Give me one moment. I'm going to see if I can fix this up a little bit. And I need to disconnect my Super Nintendo controller first. I think that's what I need to do. So, give me one moment while we mess around with my system. Because I need to disconnect my Super Nintendo controller, and I'm trying to go Joy-Con left on player 1, Joy-Con right on player 2. Let me see if I can get back into the game here. So here's what we're doing. I've got 2 controllers here, 2 Joy-Cons, and I've got a particular setup that I tried to configure ahead of time, which is this. Let's agree with this first. Before we pick a character, we're going to go to Edit Mapping. And I made a couple of presets. One I have Super Mario Wonder left hand. And one I have as Super Mario Wonder right hand. Now, the thing is, we are removing some buttons from the layout here. In terms of not having everything fully mapped. And so this could get a little messy. But the idea is that even though these are detected currently as sideways controllers, I have them back in a vertical orientation, where I'm moving with sticks, but they are in the correct orientation when I'm holding the Joy-Cons left-handed, left-hand, right-hand, and right-hand straight up the way we usually do. I'm also going to put them in the grip, because I actually tried testing this without the grip and mapping the SL and SR buttons so you can use your index finger and pinky on them for various functions, and it didn't work out as nicely as I thought. It's something I had previously tried with Mario Kart as well, where you kind of try to put the accelerator on squeezing the controller rather than pushing a button. It would actually work better if I had a charging grip for the Joy-Cons, because that actually adds the GL and GR buttons that you also see on the Switch 2 Pro controller, except you would still have the benefit of Joy-Cons detected as 2 separate controllers. So what I'm doing here is I have now mapped the controllers, my 2 Joy-Cons. I put them back in the grip, but I'm using them to simultaneously control 2 different characters. And so my idea here was that if we can use this mapping that I've set up, we're going to look at the 2-player co-op content today as 1 player. And then we can see more of Bellabel Park. So I'm going to put Mario on the left and Luigi on the right just for clarity. And I'm going to change my stream title as well so it's a little clearer what I'm doing here, because it's maybe a little bizarre. Okay, so I'm going to be one player controlling two characters simultaneously. And now that we're in multiplayer, we can actually go to the co-op mode. So what I've done is I've bound jump on L and R and dash in ZL and ZR. So it's actually possible to press dash and jump at the same time if you're using the middle finger and index finger. It's not necessarily the most comfortable thing, certainly not something we're used to. So it'll be probably a little bit of fumbling around like a new player learning how to dash and jump together for the first time in a Mario game. And of course, I'm usually not accustomed to doing Mario 2D platforming with sticks either, so do not expect good play today. Now, this one we're going to do last because I believe, from what I know, Donut Block Maker is actually one that requires one player to use a mouse, which means I actually would need to revert one of my controller setups, so we're not going to do that right now, but we're going to try the other ones. If you're familiar with the game Bayonetta Origins Syriza and the Lost Demon, which I showed on stream around the same time that I originally showed off Super Mario Wonder back in 2023, this will be familiar to you, where you actually have two separate characters, one on each controller, left hand for one character, right hand for the other character, and you move them together and they can therefore cooperate. So that's the thing that this most feels like. I understand that the game Brothers, by the co-op developer that would later do games like It Takes Two and Split Fiction and so on, it also works along similar lines where you kind of have one hand per character. So we're going to try all the other co-op ones. We could look at some of the versus ones as well, but I don't really know if they will make any sense whatsoever as one player playing them and basically crashing two characters together. But we'll definitely do co-op. So let's do coin and jump count and see what it is. Teamwork time. So yeah, let's listen to how this works. How to play. Collect the number of coins indicated, then reach the goal. Try to carefully track how many coins you pick up. And then jump count. Jump only as many times as called for, then reach the goal. Try to carefully track how many times you jumped. So yeah, in co-op, I guess you actually have to communicate about this. But if you're solo, then maybe you don't. So, okay, let's do coin count. So I guess you have to collect exactly the number specified, but that's okay because I'm one person. It should be easy to count. So, oh, there are a lot of stages for this actually, with multiple difficulties. So let's just do all of them. Why not? See what they're like.
Coin count.
Collect the number of coins indicated, and so yeah, we'll just count. Again, as one player, it shouldn't be too difficult, I would think. You can use badges. Oh, and as a beginner, that's interesting, that you can have a no damage badge on to basically have assist mode for specific players, but not others. That's an interesting accommodation for sure. And then there's a limited selection available for them, so they don't trivialize the challenge, I guess. But we are going to wear, as usual, nothing. Unless we really start taking too much damage from running into everything, so.
Aim for the exact number.
So, again, let's see if this is going to work. 34 coins.
Take notes.
3. Hang on. Oh, we need to watch out for the bull rush here. Okay. You know what? I'm going to keep Mario on the left and Luigi on the right so we can actually do this. It's a little hard to dash and jump at the same time here, too. So we have 6 coins now. Now, there's no collision here, so I don't think I can carry anyone's 7. 7, yeah, we'll grab this one on Mario. Okay. And then this is going to be 10. Now, as the Firefly here, this is going to be 13. Let's stand back. There's no timer or anything, so we can just have Luigi stand guard over here. 14. Let's jump over the ball rush. Look at that, we're actually starting to play. I feel like did I collect one here already? Or were there always just 2? I actually don't even know. Let's assume there... Well, I don't know if it's safe to assume there was one. So I think I'm on maybe 16 or something. I think they must come in as a 3. Let's say 17. So 2 here, 19. 22. Okay, hang on. Okay. Trying to hold jump to bounce off enemies is something that we're not going to be too accustomed to here either. Whoa. Okay, that did not go well. Wrong controller. Hang on. Wall jumping here is not going to go too well either. I already lost count. I have to admit. What, we won like 19 or something, and there's 22. Or did I miss a set? Let's say 25. I might be way off by this point. Let's try to bait the bull rush a little bit if we can. I mean, what happens if Luigi just takes a dab, right? Whoops. Not like that, we don't. What happens if I just drag one player with a bubble, though? If I can do that.
Processing coins. Total coins, approximately 30.
Yeah, I don't know how close we are to 30. Didn't I say we were on 25 or something? Or which means we don't want to get any 10s. So let's be very careful not to get any 10s. And then if we collect these 9, then we should be good, I think. Would 25 count as approximately 30? We'll see.
Have you got enough?
Let's try it. $37. Oh, okay, I miscounted by 3. Near perfect precision, yeah. But then if you're a little bit off, it doesn't punish you or anything necessarily, but... Okay, I don't know if we'll go through all of these necessarily to show them off, but we'll try to do a bit of a sample. I just want to see which different games are available so we can look at this accurately. I feel like before we get into some of the tougher ones, we should actually practice a little bit more here first with the 2-player situations. So let's do this, because I'm definitely not too familiar with how to do this yet. 28. And yeah, once again, no badges.
Aim for the exact number. Make sure you coordinate.
The stages are long enough that if complications happen, that makes it difficult to count. That's the thing. But let's just pause with one player and make sure we can get the other one going. That's 6. 9. Okay. No, I totally miscounted it already because the thing is we got the power up out of that, and what I'm totally staying in the wrong position now. I already miscounted. But we got elephants out of that. Did we get 1 coin out of that? I don't even know. That's the thing, it's easy to lose count just from getting distracted by all the things that can happen while you're playing Mario. And okay. I think we need to restart this one and count again.
Aim for the exact number. Make sure you coordinate. Take notes.
Those of you who followed some of the Masahiro Sakurai YouTube series about how he developed the games like Smash Brothers will remember that he talks about how sometimes he does his own playtesting using one Pro controller on each hand. Like he puts them on a table and he'll have one controller in each hand to basically test out matches in Smash Brothers. And it was something he showed off at one point, and the demo footage for one of the games. We're on 9 coins, by the way. 10. Okay, 10 at this point. Let's just whip this if we can. Anyway, I'm already getting a sense of how challenging that is. Of course, we're using a very unusual controller layout just for the platforming itself. So, it might even be easier if I just had 2 controllers flat on a table or something, instead of trying to do this dual Joy-Con setup, but we had 10 previously, right? And then there was been 13 after that one. Now we're on 16, I think. I got distracted once again by trying to whip everything with the elephant.
You're counting, right?
19. 22. Whoop. 25. Yeah, the thing is you can't just assume that question blocks are all coins because they will get you power up sometimes, so. 27. 28. So 4 more, we don't get the 10 coin. Then definitely don't get a 10 coin.
Processing coins.
At least we don't have to dodge the bull rushes in this one. Did
Coins, approximately 30.
I say we had 29? How come I can't remember what I said just moments ago? Well. Whoop. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. Get Luigi over here. We just need 3 more, really, and then we need to avoid coins for the rest. Let's just take the bottom and let's go... Oh, wait. Yeah. Hang on. Okay, let's get around here carefully. Yeah, we'll move one at a time sometimes, just to take it cautiously. And then we just take no more coins, and I think we're actually okay. So let's try it. And see what happens. 31. Okay, I was off by 1. I'll go down the list until we get a perfect, perhaps. And we'll see what the higher difficulty ones are like. Although, you see, you'll notice here with the ones that we've had so far, we haven't even had to jump over gaps or anything. These have been pretty simple. We'll get a roller skate together in this one, though.
Coin count.
Aim for the exact number. Make sure you coordinate.
Okay, 30 at least has a number that
Take
is nice and
notes.
round. Not that it will matter too much. Okay, so let's just get this guy out of the way. Oh, and then I guess we can. So that's 2 coins that Luigi's collected. That's 4. Whoop. That was 4 here that we just saw, right? That's 8. We better get some fire flowers. Okay.
You're counting, right?
10. 11, 12. 14. Oh, and there are coins off the Koopas as well if you want, but let's not get it too complicated here. 18. 20. 21. 23. 26, I want to say. Then we got 3 there. Or 2 there. No, 28, because I overcounted one, I think. 29. I might be wrong. 30. Let's try to leave without any more coins. If we can.
Total coins, approximately 35.
Approximately 35. That's not great. We overshot. How do I shed some coins? Whoops. Can I lose coins by dying? I don't think so. Like we just have to live with this.
You all done?
So how far do we overshoot? Let's find out. Okay. Okay. Because I wonder if it just rounds to the nearest 5 or to the next 5. We got 35, exactly. So, too bad, needs a bit less prize. So, I wonder what the threshold is for saying it's too bad, because previously we got some that said we were at a near miss. I'm going to try this one again. We're going to try to at least do one perfectly. And once again, you'll notice with all of the ones that are 1 star,
Exact number.
there's no question of falling into
Make
gaps.
sure you coordinate.
The Fire Flower absolutely complicated a few things there
Take notes.
that time, so. Okay, so 2. 4. Whoa. Oh, I see. This was a coin here on the block, that's why. That's 5. And then cluster of 4 here, that's 9. We'll try not to complicate too many things with Fire Flower and the Koopas. If we can. 11. Cluster of 4 here, that's 15. Koopa didn't hit any blocks, I don't think. 17. After the 6 here, that's going to be 23. Oh, pop that guy. 25, 26.
Now processing coins.
Oops.
Total coins approximately 30.
Did I say 25 or 26? Anyway, I don't remember. Okay. It was already on approximately 30. Oh, what? No, we totally overshot now. That's okay. Let's just try to make it through here.
Done?
We'll try not to collect any more. And then, whoops. Poor Luigi. He's got smoked there at the end. 33. Is that still within a too bad range? Or okay, so it's actually within the clear. So I bet if you are actually precise, then you get a prize. But maybe it's within 10% or something, or I don't exactly know what the margin is, but well, we can try another one until we try to get one perfectly. Although I guess it's even less likely once you get into the more difficult ones. But this is a really interesting insight into the experience of just being a new or bad player again. And just having trouble with running and jumping at the same time and pointing at the right place. So yeah, now you actually see some floor
Aim
hazards.
For the exact number. Make sure you
And the thing is,
coordinate.
unlike with NSMBU, you can't just carry your teammates
Take notes.
as one player. You actually do have to move together. Okay, so 56 this time. Oh, okay, so it's a higher count as well. It's not just a longer course or more difficult. It's 3,
Don't forget to keep count.
5. I think we'll just leave that at 5. 5 plus 3, that's 8. We've got to bop this guy at some point, I think. 11. That was 12, and then now we're on 15. 18. 21. Oop. 24. Whoop. Remember, we do have the bubble. 27. That's right, right? You see, every time something actually happens, it's a distraction from the count. It's actually surprisingly difficult because of that, because sometimes you just have to respond to things chaotically.
Now processing coins.
I wonder if it's easier to just take one player through and drag the other one along.
Coins, approximately 25.
I've totally lost count. That was 16 over there. So we're at approximately 41, I guess. Or maybe slightly more than that. Approximately 44. I didn't even notice on bubble interaction, actually, that they just swallowed the bubbles. Oh. Okay, that's got to be about 50 at this point. Maybe slightly over.
Is that your final answer?
Let's just walk to the goal slowly. Sneak over. There we go. Let's see how close we're. 55, actually. Near perfect precision. Okay, fine. Haven't gotten a single one perfectly yet, but... Okay, I'm not going to do everything exhaustively. I am going to scroll all the way to the bottom one, actually, just to see how it goes. Because I want to see what it affects for the count, on top of just having to jump around the dragon in a boneyard. It might be interesting to see if one player is just allowed to carry.
Aim for the exact number. Make sure you coordinate. Take notes.
Actually, let's try to just carry one player and see what happens. And I still have to play in this unconventional control scheme, so it's not going to be easy by any means, but it might be easier to keep our head straight. So it's 3. Yeah, you will drag. But the dragon won't start up until both players are on board, it seems. There we go. Six, 9. Um, 11, 14. So yeah, one person can just carry infinitely. It's actually maybe even easier to do it that way if you're trying to do this co-op thing.
You're counting, right?
I was not counting. We're at 23-ish now, I think. 28-ish. Another 10 here will be about 38 or so. Yeah, we'll just drag Luigi along for part of this. We've got to be about 48-ish now, I think. We'll see. So we do need to... Oh, whoops. Get off here.
Now processing coins. Total coins.
Yeah, I was counting about 48-ish. I don't know how accurate that is, but that would be in line with approximately 50. 52-ish. Like 62-ish, let's say. 54, 6, 8. I'm counting about like 71 maybe at this point. We'll see, because let's actually just take Mario through to the rest here. Although we don't want to drag Luigi on top of the 10, so let's take him over as well. Just proceed really carefully. Whoop. Oh, whoops. And of course, yeah, you can't have both players just fall at the end. It's definitely kind of trying to encourage you to have each player count their own color, because then that's what it does to subtotal per player at the end, because then you can get a sense of your accuracy when you just read the indicators. Perhaps. Let's see if we can actually clear this.
Aim for the exact number. Make sure you coordinate.
But we will try some of the other games so we're not just stuck doing
Take
this one.
notes.
So we can see what else is actually here. We'll grab the bubbles. Okay. So that's 6. Oh, that's already a death. Okay. I want to say. Or do I already lose track? 15. That's a coin there if you get it. So 16.
Together.
19. 24. 29. 34. 39. Or, well, no, I missed 3, so 36.
Oh no.
46. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. It's an interesting challenge. I just tried to pilot 2 characters through this in a dual stick setup.
Aim for the exact number.
It would be fun to master
Make
this
sure you
properly.
coordinate. Take notes.
Okay. Oh, and we hit 1 coin there, so that's 1, 4, 7. 4 more there is 11. 5 more there is 16. 11 there is 27.
Together.
30. 33. 38. 43. 48. Now that I'm dashing more and getting in the habit of doing it more. 59. The physics are feeling more familiar. I'm actually not familiar with a lot of jumping distances when you're not dashing, that's the thing.
Now processing
I counted
coins.
59, I should say approximately 60.
Total coins.
No, I'm way off.
approximately 70.
Way off. Must miscounted a 10 coin or something there. Let's just walk through this and not get more than 18 more, I guess.
Yes.
Yikes. Okay, let's just make sure both players stay alive.
Is that your
I think I'm
final
nowhere
answer?
close. Nowhere close. We're probably off by within a margin of 5 to 10, I think. I think we're well below. I think we're close to about 80. 82, yeah. And so that's out of range. So if you're, from previous experience, if you're off by more, well, by 5 is already a too bad. By 3 is within range. By 4, I'm not really sure. Let's try one more time. I'd like to actually see if I can beat this, and then we'll move on to something else. But the count was way, way off that time.
Aim
So.
for the exact number.
But if it's within 4, then when you get the approximation that gives you the progress report, then at least you know how many more you're supposed to get approximately. And that might get you within range of your exact. Like if you're saying approximately 70, then maybe if you collect 15 more, you're going to be safe regardless. Okay. 3. Six, 9, 15, 16, 26.
Don't forget to keep count.
Oh, we bubbled that one though, so isn't it 27, 30, 35. Oh. Getting too many enemies here. About 45 to 46-ish. Should be about 52, I think, at this point. We were hitting a lot of enemies, that's the thing with the bubble. I'm counting about 53-ish. It should say approximately 55. Let's see how far off we are. As we approach.
Now processing coins. Total coins.
I'm off by about 10 again. Where am I off by about 10? Anyway, let's collect 23 more then. Let's just start from scratch, collect 23 more. What was that? 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. There'll be some that are difficult to avoid later, so let's just keep going. Let's go about 13 more. About 11 more.
Have you got enough?
We don't want the 10, but whoa, I said we don't want the 10. Whoops. Okay. Wire's got a little cross there when it comes to the controls. It's easier when I actually have them standing, you know, Mario on the left, Luigi on the right. It's a little easier to track what I'm doing.
Aim for the
But we don't have
exact
a good
number.
muscle memory built up yet for which fingers to use
Make
for
sure you coordinate.
which functions. So.
Take notes.
Okay, let's go for the bubble again. Bubble actually complicates things a bit. It does get rid of enemies, but it does add a lot of coins to the count. That's 3. Six, 9, that's 16, 17, plus 11, that's 28,
Don't forget to keep count.
31, 2 more there, that was 33, 38. Must have been this 10 that was causing problems. 48. 53-ish? Oh, and then the other 10's here too. Should be 68 at this point. It's going to say approximately 70 if we're correct. But we need to stay alive.
Now processing
Should be
coins.
saying approximately 70.
Total coins.
Okay, we're a little over.
approximately 65.
Is it just me or is the goal actually slightly different every time? Did it say 84 last time? I don't think it did. It's slightly different. Like there's a bit of variation to it that can happen between runs. And the gaming stage, welcome. Thank you for rating with the party of 10. Let me just give you a quick shout out. And I hope running Age of Imprisonment has been going well for you. I guess you were back to that for a new run, weren't you? Hope that's been productive. I totally messed up my count here, didn't I? It said approximately 65. I counted about 68 at a time. We'll naturally run to about 60 more, I think, just from this bit here. So yeah, we're doing something slightly experimental here. Whoops. About 72, 73, 83, I guess. Let's try to collect nothing more for the rest of it. Yeah, you're rerunning the game on higher difficulty. Yeah, I started out on hard in mine. I think that was the second hardest one out of the... that was available at the start, right? Anyway, let's... oops, actually jump some of this stuff. This might actually be number 84 here, so we need to collect no more coins. Let's actually just have one player drag at this point. Oh, no. Okay, that's fine. Let's just have him on the flag for once. We might be off by about one or so. Let's see how close we were. 83, okay, within one. We did clear it. We haven't had perfection on any of these yet. So yeah, for those of you just joining us, I am attempting to play the cooperative content in Bellabel Park, the new expansion to Mario Wonder, with controlling two characters at the same time. So I'm controlling Mario with left Joy-Con and Luigi with right Joy-Con, and we're using the shoulder buttons for the dash and jump. And it has taken some getting used to. It's harder than I thought it would be in some ways, but at least we're seeing some of the content that's available, so... Yeah, 06i, it kind of does feel a little bit like the double cherry, doesn't it? And Tech Wolves, that's very true, that there is the game share functionality that can also just broadcast with a second Switch locally as well, and also share online. But I thought this would be a fun thing to try out. Oh, we didn't try the other one here. That was the jump count. Let's try the jump count. Okay, so... oh, it's going to start with Piranha Plants on Parade. That'll be interesting.
Jump count.
Yeah, no, I don't tend to host too many online events on stream simply because the schedule doesn't really work that well to put a reliable party together. It might be something we look into at some point simply because the online content here is so expansive and robust. But that's more of a function of the streaming time, and the fact that sometimes I need to be interruptible, right? So, okay, so 50 jumps total. At least we don't need to count coins this time. 2, 4, 6, 8. If they all jump together, then it's easier to count in some ways. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18.
Now processing Mario's jumps.
Oh, we missed the intermediary count. 20, 10, 22. So yeah, you're kind of expected to count for yourself, I guess. 24. 26. 28. And you don't get to see the whole song from the Wonder Flower, obviously. 30. 32. 34. 36. 38. 40. 42. 44, 46, 48, and we need to jump on the flag, so 50, I think. Let's see. Yeah, but the intermediate count here is given to you per character. Have I tried Captain Toad's Flyby? It's co-op with Plucky. I actually didn't know that existed. I haven't looked at that yet. 06i. So we actually had something accurate for once. Let's see what the harder ones look like in this mode. Because obviously there'll be a lot more chaotic jumping when you actually have some real gaps to get over. So sure, let's try across the night sky. Why not? The jump one's a little easier to count
Jump count.
than the coin one because you can kind of count for both characters at once. And yeah, the gaming stage, thank you so much once again for bringing in the raid, and do enjoy the rest of your new run in Age of Imprisonment.
Aim for the exact
We finished all of the
number.
single player content
Make
here
sure you
today,
coordinate.
and
Take
it's
notes.
a pretty satisfying amount to work with. So yeah, if we kind of move together, then we might still be able to do this decently well. Oh, that was already a mess. Okay. Oh, and actually, it says the count up top for this one. That's interesting that it didn't do that before. Did it? No, now it's giving you something approximate. 10, 12, 14. Yeah, it masked part of the number now. $16.
Oh no.
Oh, that's 20 now, I think, because, yeah, that... 22. 24. 26. 28. 30.
Don't forget to keep count.
33, I think. Oh, well. 35. That count as 1. 36, 37, 39, 43, 45, 47, whoop, 49, maybe. 51. Let's get 52 here. 54. 55, 56.
Now processing Luigi's jumps. Total jumps approximately 25.
Yeah, we need to get to the end. So let's, well, we're going to hit 60 just from the remaining jumps, I think. Up to the flag. We're going to be way over. Too many jumps just adjusting. We're going to be way over just because we had so many jumps up to that point. You know, we should just run it.
Have you got enough? Oh.
And if we run into trouble, that's fine. As long as some player makes it over. Because otherwise you're stuck jumping around and round. And the count is going to be way too high this time. There's a bit of a timer for everybody to get on the flag. It's quite a long generous timer. We're going to be over by about 20 this time. It's going to be way up in the 80s or something. And yeah, if you do too much, you fall off. So yeah, we should just gun it and just count the numbers, perhaps.
Aim for the exact number. Make sure you coordinate. Take notes.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that doesn't work. This strategy doesn't work at all, actually.
Keep count.
Yeah, no, I lose too much count if I fall off. Hang on. Okay, we just need to not cycle around the same one so much. Then we can possibly make it.
Aim for the exact number.
But yeah, this is a very sizable expansion actually when you look at the available levels in each of the modes. And this is just in co-op. We haven't looked at versus or anything yet. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16,
Don't forget to keep count.
18, 20, 22,
Oh no!
24, 26, whoop, 28, 20, whoop,
Processing Luigi's jumps.
Oh no!
nope. Disaster recovery is a little bit difficult in this mode. Let's try it again.
Aim for the exact number. Make sure you coordinate. Take notes.
Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Let's realign a bit. 12, 14, 16,
Don't
18,
forget to keep
20.
count.
Oh yeah.
24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34,
Oh no! Yeah.
36, 37, 38. They're out of sync with each other, but 40, 41, 43,
Now processing Mario's jumps.
44. Mario should be about 20 to 22.
Total jumps approximately 20.
So I'm counting 44 so far.
Oh, yeah.
46. Although Luigi's count as ahead. Can I zap these? You can. That'll make it easier. $48. They only go down temporarily though. 50.
Oh no!
51. 53. 55. 57. 59. 60 maybe?
Oh no!
61. 62. Whoa, no. Our count was actually close, I think, but the ending was too much of a mess.
Aim for the exact number. Make sure you coordinate. Take notes.
2, 4. This is already messed. 6, 8, 10. Yeah, no, the thing is that 2 are... I don't know why my jumps are so out of sync between the two. I'm just trying to synchronize my two hands a little bit, but... This is actually really quite tricky. But if we can pass this one, that would be a major accomplishment.
Aim for the exact number.
But yeah,
Make sure you coordinate.
let's see here.
Take notes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
You're counting.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Oh, no.
Now
This is
processing
about
Mario's
20.
jumps.
Or,
Total
well, I'm way
jumps,
off.
10.
So let's say this is 21-ish. 25-ish. 28, let's say. It's gonna be hilarious to look at the video afterwards and see how I'm losing count in particular places. 30. 31.
Oh, no.
Nope. Whoop. Okay, now we need to get out of trouble. I mean, that's a lot of jumps. To just get out of here. It's interesting how that's designed, actually, just to put you in a trap where you jump too much and lose count.
Aim for the exact number. Make sure you coordinate. Take notes.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14,
Keep count together.
16, I think. 18, 20, 22, 24.
Now processing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, surprisingly tricky.
Aim for the exact number.
It is a very interesting window,
Make sure you
though, to
coordinate.
what it is like to be a bad Mario player again
Take
from
notes.
trying to learn a completely different control scheme. Whoop. And also just running the wrong way because you're controlling two people. Hang on. I'll try one more crack at this maybe, but we'll see if we can even get to the goal on this one without massively overcounting from various desperation plays.
Aim for the
Let's
exact
position Luigi on the
number.
right first this time too.
Make sure you
I think
coordinate.
it's a little easier to grasp.
Take notes.
4, 6, 8. After Luigi gets up anyway. 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Whoops. 22, 24,
Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
26, 28.
Now processing Mario's
Should be approximately
jumps.
15.
Total jumps 15.
Total, exact total is 15, okay. So let's say we're at 30, roughly. I don't know how out of sync they are. Say 19, or 30, 34, let's say. Wow. $36. Whoop.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this one's not working out quite the way I'd like. Let's try something else for the time being. I want to make sure we have enough time to look at some of the other attractions too. We might come back to this one. We did make it to the end once, but with a massive overcount just from jumping round and round the same obstacle. But I do want to see what else is available. Jump challenge. So what's the jump challenge? Let's find out. Puffy jump. Keep on jumping or the puffy lift will go fully flat. Players, enemies, and even coins continue sinking downward. So you have to collect things, knock out enemies, and stay on. Okay. Alright, let's try it. There's an infinite level one. That's interesting. Maybe it's just to set a record time or something. Let's try each one and see what happens.
Puppy jump. You gotta make it. Grab those coins fast.
Yeah. Let's try to move them together. But we do need to jump from time to time just to make sure. Whoop. Oh, and then yeah, have to get the coins, of course. Whoop! Oh no, 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 no! Wrong way in both characters. It's yeah. I'm going to try to keep Mario to the left, but we can't always guarantee that. Otherwise, I'm crossing over in the wrong direction for both of them mentally. Of course, Luigi just has to start at the left.
Grab those coins fast.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, let's just try to. Oh, no, coins are still here. Come on, go. Okay, we made it, just barely. It was a little bit tense there, even on the easiest level. Coin magnet badge, I can see why that would be recommended here. Attraction tour is now available, okay. Oh, it must be like the Kirby Party modes where... like the ones in the expanded Return to Dreamland, where it takes you through a sample of different games. I kind of thought the reference point for something like this design would be like the Merry Magoland that was added to Return to Dreamland in the Switch version, but it's a very sizable expansion from what I can see here. That there's actually tons of content on the multiplayer side that if you're single player only, a lot of this you'll never see unless you do something like what I'm doing here, or if you do in fact get a party together. So let's try to go Puffy Jump again and see what happens.
Here we go. Puppy jump.
I'm definitely confusing myself a little when my characters are crossing over to different sides from each other. And
You gotta make it. How much can you handle?
yeah, we'll see.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Whoop. Oh. Nope, that's
Oh no.
too much. 24 seconds left in that. It's definitely confusing to do it. I want to see what the infinite one is. Maybe it is just infinite survival for all I know. But given that it says it's level infinite for difficulty,
Puppy jump.
I would assume that's something truly endless.
You gotta make it.
Or is there a timer? We'll see.
Endurance.
180 seconds. Okay, I see.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot to deal with as one player. So, and the thing is, for this one, you can't just carry unless you have maybe one player trying to sweep and the other player just jumping and trying to stay alive. We could try something as a strategy, like try to focus on one player and just jump with the other one repeatedly to gain height and occasionally take deaths. Maybe. But then we still need to focus on doing the platforming for one character. It's, no, this is not going to work out at all. Yeah, lasting about 20 seconds on this. But it's okay. Yeah, this one I think you actually need some proper players. It would be very interesting if somebody mastered doing the 2 simultaneous player mode on something like this one, but that's why co-op design is designed for co-op. And it does pick out a couple of nuances to how you want truly independent minds to be roving about in all directions on something like this. So, okay, so what was the other one here? We haven't seen the other one here yet, so we'll try it. 1, 2, 3, jump. This is just rhythmic. This shouldn't be too hard though in the mode that we have here. Let's try it, but we'll see. There's a 4-star difficulty on this one too, so.
1, 2, 3, jump! 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
How bad could it be, right?
Jump to the beat.
But I'm sure there's a lot of movement that disrupts you in the later modes, perhaps. Yeah, this one is actually comparatively trivial, except there are enemies, of course. You do need to reposition a little bit. Yeah, that one's comparatively easy as single player because there's less coordination to work with, but I can see where the difficulty will eventually come from in the later levels because there are things that try to throw you off. But as long as the jump button is always on the beat, then it doesn't matter too much, even if you get knocked about.
1, 2, 3, jump! Jump to the beat. Sing it. One, two, three, jump. 1, 2, 3, jump. 1, 2, 3, jump. 1, 2, 3, jump. 1, 2,
Yeah, as long as we position,
1, 2, 3, jump.
we'll be okay.
Got this. Jump. 1, 2, 3, jump. Jump. 1, 2, 3, 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 jump.
Just have to stay alive. You have to be on the lift for it, though, or it doesn't power up. Let's stay on. Oh, there is a limit. Yeah, okay, so you can't stall for too much. You can't have one player fall off for too long because then you don't power it up quickly enough. Okay, I see. Now that we were chased by that. The rising fluid.
Jump to the beat.
That's why you can't get knocked about by the hoppos and such for too long without recovering.
1, 2, 3, jump. 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 You got this. Jump. 1, 2, 3, jump.
Okay, this is going a lot better. Getting back on the platform. There we go. Yeah, because if one player falls off, then you have to fix that quickly. Well, let's see if we can clear some of the other ones. That one's just getting a bit tight, of course. Super hop to the limit.
1, 2, 3, jump! 1, 2, 3. Jump to the beat.
Yeah, we just need to not cross wires, essentially, when it comes to which character is moving where.
1, 2, 3, jump! 1, 2, 3, jump! 1, 2, 3, jump!
We all have the same tempo, it's just different hazards.
Jump! 1, 2, 3, jump! You got this! Jump! 1, 2, 3, 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 jump! You got this! Jump! 1, 2, 3, jump! Oh no!
Whoops. And yeah, you have to go around the enemies. That's the thing that complicates this one a little bit.